The NFL world just got a shake-up, and it's the kind of news that puts a big smile on every 49ers fan. Before anything else, happy Thanksgiving to everyone celebrating. Let's jump right in. The Detroit Lions just fell to the Green Bay Packers, 31-24, and that single loss opens a huge door for San Francisco. With the Niners sitting at 8-4, they now have a strong 2-game advantage for the final NFC playoff spot. But here's the real power move: San Francisco dominates inside the conference. An 8-2 NFC record puts them miles ahead of Detroit, who slipped to 4-4. In simple words, for the Lions to take that last playoff spot, they'd need a miracle run. The 49ers would have to collapse, and Detroit would have to get hot fast, something that looks very unlikely right now. That's exactly why San Francisco's playoff chances are shooting close to 90%. When your rivals fight each other, someone always helps you, and today that gift came from Green Bay. By the way, if you're enjoying the breakdown so far, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the latest NFL updates. It really helps the channel grow, so thank you. Now back to the action. Even if Detroit had beaten the Packers, the 49ers would have still gained ground. A Detroit win would have simply pushed San Francisco up to the 6th seed by moving past Green Bay. Instead, the Lions' loss keeps the Niners in the 7th spot, but with even stronger breathing room behind them. Passing Green Bay won't be easy. The Packers are playing tough football, and that earlier tie with Dallas keeps them just out of reach. But Detroit? That's the team the 49ers really needed to keep behind. And with the Lions losing offensive sparks since Ben Johnson left for Chicago, San Francisco's path just got a whole lot clearer. More to come, stay with me. The Bears look sharper than ever this season, and their new play-calling energy shows in that strong 8-3 record. But on the other side, Detroit is running into problems that weren't there before. Dan Campbell has taken over the play-calling, and while the Lions are still fearless on 4th downs, the creativity in their calls just isn't the same. Take that 4th and 3 moment. Jared Goff was red-hot, hitting 15 straight completions, yet instead of trusting the quarterback who couldn't miss, Detroit ran straight into a pile of defenders. No surprise, it went nowhere. And then came the Jameson Williams drop, the play that snapped Goff's streak and sucked the momentum right out of the Lions' offense. This season, no team feels untouchable. Even the Packers, once seen as a terrifying, unstoppable force, have dropped games they were expected to win, including one against the Carolina Panthers, the same Panthers the 49ers handled on Monday night. Micah Parsons played like a storm in this matchup, racking up 2.5 sacks and delivering hits in the moments that mattered most. Still, the Lions had enough chances to turn this game into a shootout. Without their own mistakes, the drop, the 4th down gamble with the wrong play, Detroit could have easily pushed past 30 points on Green Bay. And that tells you everything. The Packers are not the complete, balanced machine some people think they are. And the Lions? The sharp, clever offense that once defined them has lost its edge. The speed is there, the power is there, but the smart, dangerous design that made them special, that part is slipping away. And with a defense that isn't elite, the cracks are becoming harder to hide. More unfolding ahead, stay with me. When you look at both Detroit and Green Bay, one thing becomes clear: either team is unbeatable. They can strike hard, but they can also be struck back just as easily. Green Bay deserves real credit for what they've built on offense. Jordan Love is quietly putting up some of the best efficiency numbers in the league, and their willingness to attack deep keeps defenses on edge. But here's the part fans sometimes forget. The Packers' biggest strength depends heavily on perfect weather. Lambeau Field is legendary, but it's also one of the toughest, coldest environments in the NFL. And Green Bay's offense is designed more like a dome team: fast tempo, long throws, aggressive shots downfield. All of that changes the moment the wind picks up, the temperature drops, or snow starts creeping in. Yes, Josh Jacobs can pound the rock in the cold, no doubt. But the real heart of Green Bay's offense, the deep ball, can fall apart instantly when the weather turns ugly. That's why so many teams built on explosive passing suddenly slow down in late-season games. January football isn't gentle, and long-range air attacks don't always survive it. That's what made this Lions, Lions-Packers matchup inside a dome so fascinating. In perfect indoor conditions, both teams could lean into their strengths without fighting the wind or the cold. But the moment winter weather comes into play later in the season, everything changes, especially for a team that relies on throwing fireballs down the field. More insights coming, stay with me. Watching these games, I saw two teams the 49ers can absolutely challenge. Against the Lions, San Francisco might even enter as the favorites. Against the Packers, they'd likely be underdogs, but not by a wide margin. Everything hinges on how far Brock Purdy and the offense can keep pushing this team upward. When the quarterback is in rhythm, the whole identity of the 49ers shifts to a higher level. But the offense is only half the story. The defense has to match that rise. Their performance against the Panthers showed real growth, fast reactions, sharp tackling, and far better control than earlier in the year. If the defense stays on that path, the 49ers start to look like a team that can attack from multiple angles instead of relying on just one strength. And then there's the quiet secret weapon, special teams. Last season it was their weak point. This year it has flipped into a major advantage. Field position, momentum swings, clutch kicks. This unit has been delivering all season long. When playoffs arrive, that kind of edge can tilt entire games. Next up on the schedule, Cowboys vs. Chiefs. This matchup doesn't shake the NFC playoff picture as much, but it still matters. Dallas sits at 5-5, and a win would finally give them a positive record. It wouldn't be shocking either. Their defense has tightened up since Quinnen Williams arrived, and their offense has been sharp. Dak Prescott is putting together a strong season, keeping the Cowboys floating on the edge of that 7th playoff spot. So, even though they aren't the biggest threat, you can't ignore them. A team playing solid defense and confident offense can surprise anyone down the stretch. More to break down. Stay with me. If that Quinnen Williams move truly lifts Dallas into an average, steady defense, then the Cowboys suddenly become dangerous. A couple of surprise wins, a few unexpected upsets, and they could make life harder for everyone fighting for those final NFC spots. And for the 49ers, nobody expects a perfect finish from here. Even though today's results help them, Green Bay winning and Detroit losing, the cushion they gained isn't unbreakable. That's why Monday night's victory over the Panthers mattered so much. Carolina was the team closest to San Francisco for that 7th seed. Beating them didn't just feel good on the field, it shook the standings in a big way. That single win jumped the 49ers' playoff chances from 62% to nearly 90%. Combine that with the Lions' stumble, and it feels like everything is lining up in San Francisco's favor. But nothing in the NFL stays comfortable unless you keep earning it. Next up is Cleveland, and that game won't be simple. The Browns have the top-ranked defense, and the weather in Cleveland is nothing like the sunshine the 49ers enjoyed today. Snow, wind off the lake, cold snaps, anything could hit on Sunday. Winning there will require grit, calm, and smart football. After that comes the bye, then Tennessee. If the 49ers take care of business, they could be sitting at 10-4 heading into their huge showdown against the Colts on December 22nd. But as always, nothing is guaranteed. Right now, they're 8-4 with a small lead, and the only way to keep that lead alive is to keep stacking wins. The Lions' loss made the 49ers' playoff grip a little tighter, and if they stay hot, moving up the standings isn't out of the question at all. That's the latest, and there's much more ahead. Stay with me.